Okay, I took about, I don't know, 10-15 minute break here. You can see it's still light outside, so not that long. Uploaded the other one. I got 2 minutes here because of the clock. Watched the Paul Joseph Watson video, or modernity. And, yeah. Gonna go for the single bell pentathalon here. 6 minutes on each lift. Just an 18 though, because like I said, I'm doing this literally right after the one I just did, more or less. And after the 2 sessions I did yesterday, I'm probably going to be cooked. But I feel like I can do it, so I'm going to do it. 120 cleans, 60 clean and press, 108 reps of snatch, 120 jerks, and 120 reps of long cycle. So with the cleans, I'm going to go 12 and 12 for 5 sets, 60 per arm. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One set. 1, 2 sets. 3 sets. 7, 4. $120. Not too bad. I'm not doing anything over the rep goal here. I will say that is possibly another reason why I was so fatigued yesterday's session with the 12-minute sets, because I went the whole 12 minutes. I had hit the double reps and still had a couple minutes left, and I just kept going on both the clean and the clean and press. The snatch, not so much. I needed everything to get the snatches in. Okay, so now there's that 5-minute break. So yeah, the regular pentathalon, not too bad. Obviously an 18 kilo bell for cleans is not a challenge. I know that. But even with a bigger weight, it's still not, I mean, it's just a clean. It's not that bad. I think it's more challenging for your hands. The clean done consecutively like that is probably the toughest one, at least for me. It tends to irritate my hands the most. I can kind of play around with the snatch grip to emphasize different areas. Like I can let it hang off the fingers if the palms are kind of feeling a little rough. Or I can grip it more palm if the fingers are feeling rough. But with the clean, I can't really change it too much. I kind of feel it on the whole hand. Best I can do is on the pull, kind of wrap the thumb over as a pseudo barrier, but it doesn't help a ton. It helps, but it obviously doesn't take all of it off because my hands are feeling it. So yeah, I would say consecutive clean is probably the worst for your hands. And then the snatch is the next worst. The long cycle is really not that bad. Any type of clean and press where it's like, you know, anytime where you're just doing a clean, then you rack, maybe take a second or two, and then you do something else, it doesn't tear the hands the same way that consecutive cleans do, or can. They don't always, but you know, they can. I feel like for the cleans to be a challenge, I would have to quite literally double this weight. And if as far as the cardio stress goes, I did literally double the weight. And I did half of a round, but I hit half the amount of reps with those double cleans. And I hit 60 double cleans in one set. So, and the fact that it was on both arms the whole time, it's probably more fatiguing muscularity wise than just doing a single 80. And then the cardio stress would be about the same. So yeah, I could probably do 36K bell for a clean. And I would just do like probably, I would probably just go 1 through 5 on the ladder and then switch, treat it like a strength exercise. And that shouldn't mess up my bicep too much, or the forearm. It, you know, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. I would do it with a competition bell though. I would not recommend getting a hard style cast iron bell that big, because the handles on these do get a little bit thicker. So that would be really awkward. So for stuff like that, to going really heavy, if that's your goal, I would stick with competition bells, because they're all the same size and their handles are thinner, which means it'll tear up your hand less. These bells really aren't built for the kettlebell sport stuff. I mean, you can use them, but it is difficult because, like, ergonomically speaking, like the 24s, the main reason I dislike using them a lot is because they're just a lot bigger. It's just harder, like they're heftier to hold on to. The competition bells, though, that's not a problem. They're all the same size, like I said, and the handle's thinner. It makes it a little easier. It's less fatiguing on your grip, too, your grip strength. So, but luckily, I'm not that serious about kettlebell sport. I just like training hard with kettlebells, and this is something that a lot of people think is really hard. I think if you do it for, 10 to 15 minutes straight, it's hard. Even with light weight, it's really hard. If you double it up, it's really hard. But like, even if you're somebody who's like strong enough to do really heavy weights, it's probably not any harder for you because you're physically strong enough to handle the weight. You know what I mean? So like, it's probably not that big of a deal. Like, I could probably do double this weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. I'm bad at that assisted switch. Twenty-four. Six. 12 more total. Tell you what, I'd rather do 120 of these than 120 jerks. $60. Pretty easy. With that, I would say I could do that with a 24. So, being conservative, cleans, I could do with a 32. Clean and press, the one I just did, 24. Pretty, I think pretty safe. Snatch, could probably get up to a 20, depending on how my hands feel. Possibly a 24. Jerk. If I want to hit all 120 reps in the 6 minutes, maybe probably a 20, because like I said, for me on the jerk, the fatigue in the shoulders that tends to stop me the most. And then the long cycle, I could probably do with a 24. That's without like further training. Like if I came at this fresh with the intent to really nail it, I feel like I could put up those weights just like right now without any further training. Like I said, I feel like I could put up those numbers. I would need more of the 6 minutes, obviously. Like running through that with a 24 is not going to be as quick, because that probably took maybe 3.5 minutes. So like I would need a higher percentage of the timer, but I would say based on how I'm hitting it, I could probably do that. Definitely those first two. The snatch, like I said, depends on how my hand is. My hands are. And then the jerk, that's my worst lift. It has been for a while. Maybe a 24 to hit all 120 reps. And if I'm actually doing the clean and push press instead of the clean and jerk, I think it's like I said, the clean and push press is easier than the clean and jerk, because the jerk just incorporates more muscles. It's more explosive. It puts a higher strain on your whole body. So you could definitely nail a 24 kilo bell with those, because that is a little bit easier on your shoulder than the clean and strict press. So yeah, could probably, no, I would say definitely can do that with a 24 in 6 minutes and probably hit all the reps. So like the snatch ends up being the hardest part of the pentathlon, because like the way every time I've seen it structured is right in the middle. Okay, you do your cleans, that's the easiest part. Actually no, the clean and press is the easiest part because the reps are halved from everything else. Okay, so you do your cleans, that's pretty easy. You do your clean and press, that's really easy. The snatch is hard, and then because it's all cardio basically. And then you go into the jerk, and the jerk is cardio and muscular fatigue. So you're getting all, lactic acid buildup and shit. And then you go into the long cycle, and it's just kind of a bitch. I don't have any liquid IV today, it's just water. But I am far more carbed today than I was yesterday for my second session. Like I said, I had fasted for 19 hours, or 18 or 19 hours roughly. It was over 16. It was at least 18. I think it was 19 though. And then I ate a couple slices of pizza. Waited 3.5 hours, and then I did that second workout that you saw. That I recorded for the 12-minute pentathalon. That I failed. So, and it was much hotter up here than it is today. It's a lot nicer up here. I can breathe. I mean, that's mainly because the window's open and I just have some cardboard in there because the window's broke. But, you know, I have a screen. I forgot to do it. So I need to do that. That would help. But yeah. So like I said yesterday, the heat is the main thing that stifled me. For sure, it was the heat. Now I'm not looking forward to doing the snatch because, like I said, my hands are feeling kind of rippy. But I am committed to finishing this, and I feel pretty good here. Like, I don't think it's going to be too bad. So it's 108 reps a snatch. So what I'm instead going to do is I'm just going to try to run through 4 snatch ladders, 1 through 5, and just nail 120 reps. Like extra credit from yesterday. See if I can do that in 6 minutes. If my hands hold up, it won't be a problem. So that's the goal with this. That 5 minutes should be about up. I feel like I've rambled enough. Maybe not. Maybe I am wrong. I could also do 6 sets of 9. Which, you know, I'm going to do that because, like, it's a little more challenging on the hands. Why not? Fuck it. One. This is supposed to be half snatch. I'm making it harder on myself. 3. Four. 5. 6. 120 in under 6 minutes. Yeah, I never do it. Just had to get through the hand pain there. Tell you what, it really lights up the core. Your obliques, like everything in your abdominals gets fired up. So I said, with proper kettlebell training, you're not gonna have like a thin waist. Really, proper strength training in general. So I see why a lot of bodybuilders don't do your big compound movements, really. They isolate everything with machines because they don't want their abs being all thick and blocky if they can help it. You know, because they take a shit ton of growth hormone too. And that kind of bulges them out as it is. So a lot of your pro bodybuilders, they don't really do compound movements, especially in the ones nowadays. Everything's a machine. know dudes who are like bodybuilders. They're not famous. They're not on YouTube, but they're all shredded, but they're so damn small. And they're weak too. Like, they do these damn face pulls with like 30 pounds on the cable machine, and it's just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I don't care if you can do 10 pull-ups super strict with a pause. You're 145 pounds, bro. Or like, they'll see somebody doing heavy dumbbell rows, and then, you know, they're like, oh, that's like a meathead move. I'm like, yeah, bro. But my lats are like 3 times as thick as yours, so it works. Heavy lifting and shit like this. A lot of overhead work, a lot of ballistic overhead work, especially. It gives you a thick posterior chain and a thicker waist, because you're using so many muscles to get everything overhead and to stabilize. Double bell work does the same thing. The more ballistic, the more you're going to train it. The only lift, if you're doing really heavy offside jerks, yes, really heavy unilateral jerks are going to light the core up. But to me, the only single bell that's superior for core activation is the snatch. Because it's just such an explosive movement. I feel like your body really has to compensate to keep everything in line. And I mean, I said this in some of my older videos. I feel like the single kettlebell snatch is just straight up better than the double. The double will fatigue you faster, but I feel like the real power in the kettlebell snatch is just doing a single bell for a lot of reps and getting the weight up. And I do feel like that is the superior way to snatch. And it's a lot less likely to injure your back. Alright, so now we got the jerks. My least favorite lift. I mean, I like it, but it's a mean lift for me. Like, I tend to burn out on this one the quickest, so we'll see. But right now, feeling much better than yesterday's session. And this is my literal second session of the day with maybe 15 minutes in between the 2 sessions, so. One. 24. 26. 28. 30. 31. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 50, 51, 52, 53, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, halfway there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 70, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 88, 90, 92, 94, 96, 98, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119. Oh shit. I think I needed all 6 minutes for that. Oh. The reason I just went for a straight 10 was due to the hand changes. If I had done the traditional ladder, it would have been a lot of hand changes. And obviously I ended up needing all the time, so I'm slowing down a bit, but still able to get it in. Oh, you know, I have a question, right? It's like, and maybe some of you do too, know what I'm talking about, but like, what is it with modern chicks and smelling bad downstairs? I don't get it. Like I'm not talking like, oh, you know, it's a little fishy. No, I mean like straight body odor. Like, do girls not wash down there anymore? Like, I don't get it. The last chick I was with, like, you know, it totally killed the mood. Like, it just, and then I didn't want to make her feel too bad, but I had to make up a bunch of excuses. And I don't know, it's gross. Like, as someone who takes hygiene very seriously, it's just kind of gross. Like, stop listening to the crazy feminists who want you to be single and, you know, miserable. Wash your bits. Like, it's gross. Like, I wouldn't expect you to go down on me, you know what I mean? Like, if I ain't washed, like, I don't understand girls these days. Okay, now we got the long cycle. Same thing, 10 reps aside. I'm probably not going to be able to get 120 reps here in 6 minutes. If the jerk took pretty much the whole 6 minutes, I don't think I'm getting through this. In 6 minutes. I doubt it. See, total reps. I did 120 cleans, did the 60 presses, that's 180. Did 120 snatches, that's 300. So I've done 420 reps so far. So if I nailed this, it's 540. So that'd be nice. Let's see if I can get 540. Excuse me. Mm, 6 p.m. I'm making good time. Damn, I got a big ass. Look at my shadow, looks like a damn gorilla. One. 2, ow. I'm not doing 3. Ow. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, It'd be funny if I was wrong, and this is just a push press and no clean, but I'm almost positive. "26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I feel like I should do the individual minutes, and that way I can pace it better. It's also a possibility I'm just a little more tired than I feel. "56, 60, 70, 78. 80. Shit. Yeah. Damn. I wasn't too tired or fatigued feeling. I don't think I don't know. I mean, maybe there just isn't enough time. Shoulders felt good and everything. Maybe I got the reps wrong. All right, total reps. 120 cleans. 60 clean and press, that's 180. 120 snatch is 300. 120 jerks is 420. 80 of those is 500. Yeah, I mean, it is possible and probable. I'm just more fatigued than I feel. That is always a possibility. But yeah, that's a good amount of work, you know. 200 and some reps with doubles and then 500 with a single. Yeah. The pentathalon, that is 3 versions of the pentathalon in 2 days, back to back, basically. So that's good. That's a lot of work. Yeah, the weight was light, but you know, I'm a little deconditioned to this type of kettlebell training. So got to start somewhere. But yeah, once I got into the session, the hands felt okay, but once I put it down, I took that 5-minute break and started again. That's where it sucked, but nothing tore. So, gotta get used to dealing with the hand pain. Gotta get used to that again. Core feels lit up. Back feels stretched. Biceps are kind of pumped. Forearms feel a little fatigued. Shoulders, chest, everything feels worked. Hamstrings, obviously. Quads from doing all the jerks and the pushing. So I said, realistically, you only need those 3 lifts. You only need the snatch, really, the clean, the jerk, and the snatch. The only 3 kettlebell lifts you need. The clean, because it's the most integral, because it's how you get the weight up to the rack position. And I'm just breaking it down to the absolute basis movements. But truly, the only 3 lifts you need is the clean and jerk, the snatch, and the jerk. And you don't even need to do jerk separately unless you want to, like, get good at them for, like, competition. If you're looking to build some more muscle, the jerk is better than the long cycle. because it's just more focused on it's more stress on the muscles, the upper back muscles, the upper body muscles. And yes, breaking it down like that does make it easier, and you're less likely to get that muscular adaptation. So, yeah. And the jerk will train muscles that the press won't. Okay? Despite what some people will tell you. The press is a good movement, but the jerk really hits more of the upper back than the strict press does. So you don't really need to, you can just use the jerk. You don't need to do strict press. It's helpful and I recommend it, but like the way I would structure this type of kettlebell training is primarily focus on the 3 competition lifts in both singles and doubles. And then once or twice a week, you just throw in some form of squat and some form of just regular press. And then you're good to go. You don't need to do rows because those 3 main kettlebell lifts, I think I've pretty well documented what it does for rowing strength and deadlift strength even. So you don't need to train those, and your back will be jacked. My back is way bigger doing kettlebells than it ever was lifting weights. You don't need to do a ton of squats because you're doing very high volume jerks, and that is just as good for your quads, if not even a little better, because you're doing so many reps. Yes, the weight is submaximal, but it's very explosive movement. So you're recruiting more muscle fibers, and you're doing it over and over and over again. If you go to a gym and you back squat, the stabilizers are likely to give out before the actual leg muscles do. But when you're doing the jerk, the weight is supported by your whole body, and it's a relatively light weight. Like even if you're doing jerks with, like double 24s feels heavy on like the upper back if you're not used to doing them. But compared to going to the gym and doing like back squats with 225, or if you work up like I do, if you can squat in the 300s, I would rather squat, say 10 sets of 5 with 315 than I would rather do 30 minutes of double jerks at a pace of like 8 with 24 kilo bells, Like the jerk's way harder because it's just training everything all together and it's explosive. So yeah, you don't really need to do squats. I like the front squat though with the kettlebells. It's a different stimulus. It kind of hits the core pretty well too. But you really only need 3 lifts. But that's the regular pentathalon, 500 reps. Based on how that felt, I don't know that there's enough time to actually hit 120 reps of clean and push press, or clean and jerk for that matter. So I probably got the exercises messed up, is probably what I did. Because even for like people like elite kettlebell athletes, 120 reps of clean and jerk in 6 minutes seems pretty difficult. Like not so much from a work ratio, but just from a time perspective. That seems really hard. Like just the physical act of doing the jerk, racking the weight, and then putting the weight overhead because you're supposed to hold for a second in the top fixation. Like I just don't think there's enough time. Like I just don't think it's enough time. But I'll have to look that up. But I'm going to stop because this is over an hour. But you see the difference between the 6-minute, the regular version, and the 12-minute version. The 12-minute version is really hard because it's just double the work. So, yeah.